ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Locum23. You're joining me for Choice of the Stories You Play Weekly Recap, Snowflake Edition, where some of you will most likely be triggered by the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. And also a special announcement at the very end. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to do reverse order this week. Love hacks first. It's no wonder TJ is the way he really is. Especially with Martin allowing it and then being rude as shit. It almost feels like Martin is TJ. However, he has to throw on a professional facade. And he lives vicariously through TJ then because he doesn't have to, be like TJ because he can't be like TJ because he runs a whole organization. Then also the contract. I can tell there's probably going to be some drama in book 2 about how there might even be lawyers involved. Remember, there was a contract when she started on the Click at the Love edition for Love Hacks or whatever. Basically, there's probably going to be some issues there. Whereas Ben and everything, if it's handled the way real life is handled, however it is a book, people will be called in like Ben for him being way out of line. I mean, Ben was there for both events. So I would suggest, though Pixelberry isn't really giving us a choice, but I would suggest keeping it cool with Ben. Because something tells me we're going to need him, kind of like we needed Zig for freshman. And then also Cole. Bro, that confession while you're drunk. Could you never, ever talk again? Like, Cole, you'd figure Cole would have some, built up, figuring they all hang out at the double tap and they all get drunk all the time. You'd figure he would have some built up tolerance to alcohol, because it does happen over time. Damn, bro. Damn. Everyone's reaction, foreboding into book 2, Ben going, is this really the way you want it or your decision? And then Mark, going on and about something. And then there was the announcement of the wedding. And I'm assuming, though it wasn't at us because we weren't next to say anything, but Serena and I think it was Serena or Brooke, about the wedding. I forget which one, but I just remember it because like I said, I take notes. And then, like I said, if that's how you feel by Ben, and I'm like, no, no, no. So my question is, are we going to have a wedding? Are we going to go to a friend's wedding? Maybe, Cole hooked up with that guy? Maybe Horatio? I don't know. Maybe it's someone we don't even know about. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, jumping up to freshman, I'm glad James came to his senses. I'm glad James is back with the team. I'm glad he helped our main character get back on track with the book, really catch up, because otherwise she probably would have flunked college, since she had a guideline she was supposed to keep up with and finish the book and work on it, or at least finish parts of the book, because we're not completely finished yet, but we're getting there. Like she said, we're working on the ending. Brandon coming back in time, I called that about 1 or 2 chapters ago. Him coming back in time, him surprising Zach, and the whole, oh my god, and they kind of build up to it, because him screaming. It's like, oh no, we've sent our friend to die. Oh, that was amazing. And then, all around, I love Freshman. It's right up there. Endless Summer and Freshman are fighting back and forth for which is my favorite book. So, with that being said, because remember, we're no longer going to be freshmen here soon. So, what are they going to call the next book? Are they going to call it The Sophomores? Or, what exactly are they going to call it? Because I remember everyone's in varying stages of their college. That's why they call it the freshmen, not the freshmen. So my question is, are they going to change it and have it, be the sophomore? I'm assuming that, but I guess we'll see. On to Crown. Whoo! So I kind of am cut in half by this book. I gave it high praises last week, and then this week I'm like, Pixelberry. Dom is able to resist, and apparently Hex had kept making him go over and over and over, and he was never able to remember. But just recently, maybe due to the introduction of this woman, he was able to suddenly start remembering. Maybe she had been tampering or doing something with the thing that's in his neck. It's not around his body. It's not around his head. It's in his neck. But it's a smaller version of what Anton had on his head. So I'm wondering if she had helped at all tinker, or if maybe just the things she was saying to him, maybe the things he was asking, maybe it was jarring something in his mind to finally be able to resist. However, he was not able to resist as much as I'm sure some of us would have liked, but at least he was able to resist some. So it may be progressive. Like they said at the end of the book, some while it wasn't huge, your actions will be bigger in the future by resisting versus not resisting. So we might be able to save one of the team. We might be able to speed up the process of being free, or who knows. However, like I said, I was kind of cut in half by this book because the diamonds to save Madeline kind of really just, eh. That kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Literally left a bad taste in my mouth. Because you have this kind woman who has done really nothing wrong. Hex throws her out the airship, and instead of being able to save her in one way or another, we just are left with unknown. So it didn't give at the end, unless Pixelberry screwed this up, it didn't give basically you could recruit her, by the way, if you spent the diamonds. So keep that in mind. But you wouldn't recruit her for Dom. You would recruit her for the cause, for Kenna. Because if you pick the diamond choice, he was able to give her some food and some things and a map to Stormhold. And then she would have joined the cause. Would she have just been a side character? Someone that's like Val or something and joined? Very minor thing, like, hey, how are you? I saw Dom, I know where he is. Versus what they may do is, oh, we found intel of where Dom will be. Here, let's go over here. Or, I don't know how Pixelberry's going to play that. Anton, I feel like there's still hope for him. Very small amount. I feel like Dom, since he has freedom now, he could maybe get to Anton, because no one's been able to really talk to Anton. No one's been able to really sit there and at all help him. So right now he kind of looks like lost his will to fight and live. He's a shell of a person. But even when you're in that place, and this brings me back to Legion, if you watched it, it's an incredible show, you can get lost in your mind, but someone can make a difference. That will lead me to something that's completely off topic real quick. If you ever need to talk, you ever feel lost or whatnot, feel free to talk to me. I do in the description down below. There is my social media outlets. Feel free to send me a message. If you ever just need to talk, I will be more than happy to talk to you. That's something that I feel is a unique thing that I bring to the YouTube community, which it sorely lacks, is actual communication to the community and, my subscribers. So please, if you ever need to talk, send me a shout out or message on Twitter, Facebook, anything. At the end, in quotes, you did your best. Wow. Like, I felt like a smack across the face. Really, Pixelberry? Just, you did your best. Not good enough. I was kind of really triggered by that. On the rules. The hunt for Audrey. It was cute. It was kind of like Charlie's Angels, kind of cute. But, See, the thing is, they're going to go to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a pretty big area. How exactly you're going to find Audrey? You know nothing. You know not where she went. You know nothing. You have no clue. So, I'm kind of upset by that. Nicole still doesn't know she's pregnant. I mean, yeah, it's been a very short amount of time, but she wanted like orange slices and something. It was like, ugh. Even the other character was like, "What is wrong with you?" So very weird taste buds, which is some women that get pregnant, they'll just be like, "Boy, I'm just craving an increased amount of chocolate." They'll be like, "Oh, well, you're a woman. That's your thing." And then like a month down the road, boy, I'm getting, it's just then they find out. Um, the Nicole and Audrey thing, it kind of felt like a Disney episode, basically. Disney princess or something. It was, like I said, it was cute, but it was just a little over the top. Leo and the air balloon. Amazing, and yet, I was like, what the hell? Because now both men, William and Leo, they both want to marry you. Technically, we would have been engaged. Well, technically, we already are engaged to William. We're going to be married by now. Um, I'm trying to think of the word where people have like open relationships, monogamous or something, I believe. Where people, hey, I'm seeing Tony over here, but on every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm seeing Fred. Um, or whenever, I don't know. It's just an example, but so I'm sitting there and I'm like, shit. And then Dean, um, still talking to the enemies here, and then Dean is a quote unquote love interest, which I would say to what, 5% of the community, if that. And I feel like it's going to come up. I feel like it's really going to come up because our main character's been gone. Everybody has kind of been, because you're the front runner. If they take you down, they can't really take down Alex. He's in a place right now. I feel like the financial situation, though, is going to be a little hard on Elena, and they're going to have their first little spat. But I feel like Dean, when we come back, when the main character comes back on the cruise from the flight from Cordonia, I feel like there's going to be something with Dean and all the secret planning and all that. And then I think that if you choose, though I'm sure there's some way Pixelberry will work this because it's drama, I feel like you should try and abstain from Dean and just stay away from him. But I'm sure people are going to pursue it, and I might even be intrigued myself, but hey, let me get a quick sip here. So, Royal Romance this week, very short. Everyone was commenting about it. And there was already, like, 2 diamond options in it? So, Drake was really cool. I mean, he wasn't really, really cool, but he was cool. The first chapter. In this chapter, it feels like Drake is just an ass. Like, I went from, wow, that Drake might be someone who might be more mellow and cooler than Liam. It might be some, you're biting for the princess love, but at the same time, you're having a, in a way, forbidden thing where you might run away with the commoner. And that's how I saw Drake. I saw him as someone really cool. He'll never be the prince, but he's the prince's friend. And that's how I felt about Drake. And I really had my options open. After this, Drake is third, Hannah's second, Liam's first. So everyone kept asking me, what are your options? What are you feeling? What do you want? Liam, Hannah, Drake. Drake's at the bottom. If you were to put Hex there and like make her kind of like a dominant, kind of like yet in closed behind doors was really romantic or something, she would end up bypassing Drake. I mean, seriously. So, and yes, by the way, she is a bloodline of, that whole Navrakas thing, and they kind of confirmed that Pixelberry wrote a big lengthy thing on their Tumblr. You should check that out sometime. I read through it. Someone sent me some screenshots and other things of discussions with Pixelberry, and I was like, yeah, okay, alright, so this existed in the past, and apparently this was real, and here's the bloodline, so, okay, whatever. Not all of, no one's confirming the crown and flame is entirely real, but the bloodline at least is real. That was cool. Maxwell, very interesting fellow. Very interesting fellow. I mean, just picking someone, just going, hey, our house will support you. I feel like he gets something from this. Like, hey, remember when, let's just say you pick Liam and you become the queen or princess of the throne, and then eventually he'll become the king and you'll become the queen. And Maxwell and their family will be like, hey, you remember when, we helped you become princess? Yeah, we're going to need a few favors. Or to kill Liam, which I'm like, whoa, wait, what? I feel like that's a thing. I feel like Maxwell has to get something from all this. Um, I thought it was really cool that they entered, and I was kind of like, I was ready for another love hacks. Like, you're biting for Mark, but you end up with Ben, and there's Lay, just meh. And all of a sudden it's like, Hannah's an option. It's like, oh my. I mean, they had allowed you to flirt in very start with surprisingly X and the I'd rather be with you, which was a very interesting option. I was like, no, let's avoid that. She's Hex. And, so like I said, Liam is still number one. Hannah is number two. Because there's people who are very finicky about that. And please be open-minded. I plan on going back through the books, like I am right now with Most Wanted. Freshman, Endless Summer, right now are neck and neck for what I want to do next for Diamond Inversions. So right now I'm sitting there going, ugh. I mean, I've only got just like 2 chapters left in Most Wanted. Keep that in mind. We're almost done with the Diamond Edition. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, ugh. That's really tough. What I want to do next. Because I know Diamond or Endless Summer is going to cost a lot more diamonds. However, everyone's more fond of Freshman. However, the popularity of Endless Summer is pretty much neck and neck for everyone. At least most that I talk to and know, and polls and things like that. But for me personally, it's neck and neck, so it's hard. It's hard. Also, the kiss the shoe thing. I mean, there were some questions about that. No, we're not kissing the shoe. If rules of engagement taught you anything, and royalty and real life, you do not kiss the shoe. You are not. You are not the people. Like kind of like the Pope. He went and instead of basically when the Pope goes and he'll go and he'll wash poor people's feet. And it's some religious thing for the Catholics have. Well, he chose instead of males, because it's always been males, he chose to do it for females. And all the news just blew up, and oh my god. And it's not something you do to royalty, however. You don't go up and kiss their feet. You kiss the ring on their hand. That's why in Rules of Engagement I literally kissed the king's ring as our main character. I just knew. That's something innately that's there. So keep that in mind. Where to begin first? So we're done with the choices talk. Like I said, by the end of this, someone's going to be triggered, whether it be choices related or what's coming up next. So as everyone knows, and in the past, I have promoted the choices groups that I'm in. And it was a great ability to go in, and for those who only like choices, to go in and have a community to talk to. However, some of those that I referred to those communities are not so happy with those communities. At least one in particular, and I don't blame them. So, I'm going to go ahead, and until things get sorted and straightened out, I am not going to be endorsing that specific choices group until they get their shit straight. And a lot of people outside of the group or in the group, and those that referred, they even asked, are you going to do a group? I would rather you do a group. And I've been really considering it. I've been really considering making my own choices Facebook group and also a Discord server. Now, on a Discord server, if you don't know what Discord is, it would allow us to go, share pictures, talk about things. You can make even additional channels like choices not related, spoiler channel, general chat, and even voice channels to where you can sit and talk. Like I'm talking to you right now, you can hear my voice, I could get to hear you, and we'd be able to sit there and talk back and forth. It would be a great way to get the community involved and actually have where people sometimes misconstrued vocal typing, or not vocal, but typing versus vocal. Like saying right now, you all should stop bitching one way or another about Pixelberry. Period. Because holy shit, I have seen so much complaining on both sides lately. And a lot of people, it's toxic to them, and it's toxic to me because I sit there and I see this group, and there's a lot of shit going on. And it's like yesterday there was a complaint about how people can go and they can ask choices, right? People come to me in the channel on my just comments and they ask me questions like, "Hey, do you happen to know what happens if you pick this choice?" Because people sometimes don't want to pick the wrong choice and they want to know. That's what this book, the books are for. This is what this app is for. And people maybe don't have all the time in the world. I myself don't, to sit and, oh shit, oh, I didn't mean to click that. Kind of like you guys saw last week. I picked a wrong choice that I didn't mean to. I mean, was I supposed to wait 3 hours for a key? Make all of you wait 3 hours for the video? If not longer? And for one choice? So, and that was my screw up. So I think people are really being petty, childish, and very trivial when you're complaining because people are going into a group and asking, they post a picture or they post a screenshot and they say, "I don't know which choice to choose. Give me some options. Do you happen to know what happened?" Just shut the hell up. You're not a special snowflake. No one forces you at gunpoint, and I told people this. No one forces you at gunpoint to sit there and read their shit. If you don't want to read it, there's a scroll button. You can either scroll, you flick your finger. It's amazing technology nowadays. You flick your finger, it just rolls right past it, right? Or if I'm on a computer, I roll. I can either go to the right, I can scroll the scroll bar, or there's this amazing thing called a middle mouse button now, and you just roll a little, you know? just, oh, Then today people were bitching because there's been people who, complain, and I myself complain about the diamonds. Pixelberry is working on, and and I'm going to make this clear. Pixelberry has acknowledged, and they have stated, that they're looking into redeemable options for fans to allow them to get diamonds either over time from ad revenue, watch an ad, get a diamond. People have seen that type of content from the apps I have played. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull something up here for you. Okay? So we're going to go to here. By the way, this is top grossing. Okay, check this out. Top grossing. Okay? I wanted to share this with you all. So, top grossing, some of these apps, and everybody, this was the argument that was going on. Okay? This was the huge argument. Well, Pixelberry is a company that really doesn't have anybody, and they're a small team. Everybody and their mother can acknowledge that. Okay? Pixelberry, however, has created apps in the past. Some of them went well, some of them did not. Pixelberry has acknowledged that, they're a company, they're learning, they're doing new things. And yes, they're our small team. Well, let's go over here to the top 3 grossing app. They're a team who just made this. People are like, I didn't even know this existed. Mobile Strike, I didn't even know. Then everyone goes, well, Pokemon Go, it's a app that really sells because the name Pokemon. Niantic only had 2 apps prior to this. Okay, so you go over here. They only had 2 apps. This one had like 10,000 downloads. This one has a lot more. Okay, so then you go to Pokemon Go, millions of downloads. So yes, the name sells, but guess what? Pokemon Go had, to date, the worst gaming and app failure in the history of hit gaming and apps. They failed their customers so hard. However, there is still the loyal, bunch of fans that are keeping them in the top 5. Supercell created Clash of Clans, one of their first apps. It is one of their most popular apps. They made Heyday, they made Boom Beach, they made Clash Royale, which is a card game based off of Clash of Clans. So when people go, no, Niantic can't offer other options, Do you know that? Are you in business? Do you have a business degree? 100% of you don't that are complaining about this. So those of you going, no, don't change anything up, you're going to end up hurting Pixelberry more. Now, there is some people that are saying, it's cool. It's cool to have some criticism. It's cool to complain a little. But at the same time, we need to censor those that are sending hate mail to Pixelberry. And I will respond with, what is that going to stop? And I got several different answers. I got, well, they'll learn. No, they won't. People that are vocal will continue sending hate mail. Just because they're in a choices group doesn't mean them being outside of a choices group, because there's many. Them being outside the choices group is going to make their voice any less vocal. They're not going to sit there and go, boy, by golly gee williker, I got kicked from that choices group because of I had an opinion where I voiced it to Pixelberry in my own unique way. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Everybody and their opinions and their way they vocalize is completely different. Please stop acting like a very sensitive snowflake. Please. Respect one another's opinions. Don't just go and take a hammer and beat the shit out of everybody that has an opinion. Please. Or I don't want to know you. Okay? I really don't want to know you. So, like I said, even TurboTax is a top grossing app. Okay? So keep that in mind. A lot of these are by companies that, yes, are well known. Bandai, well known. Pokemon the name, well known. Niantic, no. Clash of Clans, well known. Supercell, no. King, if you were to say, boy, that King app sure was fun, nobody knows it. Candy Crush, it's a name. Just like Pixelberry, it's just a name. Choices the stories you play, it's a top 40 grossing app on Google. Top 23 on iOS, I believe, according to Pixelberry. So, they're getting revenue, or they're getting money from both sides of the table, and they've even acknowledged they're going to offer something back to their fans. Remember, folks, that this app right here, this isn't released. Okay? Calm down. See this? Beta tester. Calm down. You're going to be okay. Both sides of the fence. You're going to be okay. It's okay to voice your opinion too, but don't try and silence people. That is the fastest way of people getting to hate you. With that, moving on. Speaking of revenue, YouTube, a thing that goes off of revenue, because they don't have money, just give them money for purchases, unless you wanted to do RedTube for YouTube, where basically it's you get money, or you give them a monthly thing to be able to browse with no ads, and a lot better service. It's a small amount of money for great service, according to some. I've never used it, so I wouldn't know. With that being said, due to the special snowflakes of the world that I'm kind of talking about, a lot of companies, such as PepsiCo, Coke, and other companies, there's a laundry list of names, have pulled ad revenue from YouTube. So it has significantly hurt the community as a whole. Average YouTubers are really hurt by this change. And the guidelines going in to YouTube here very shortly, if not already, there was 12 million LGBTQ videos removed and taken away from ad revenue that was legit, and those channels were dedicated to, opening people's minds and doing things. Well, they are no longer getting ad revenue because of the special snowflakes of the world that didn't think that they should get funding because they create content for those types of people. Just like wrestling is no longer receiving funding due to violence and people just talking about, hey, did you see The Undertaker, or showing videos of it, or hell, even the WWE channels and everything have lost funding and are really upset because these ad people now and YouTube trying to fix things, because Google is completely ad driven, by the way, in case you didn't ever know that. 90% of the company is ad revenue generated. Okay? Yes. So don't tell me that changing something with Pixelberry will cripple a company. You're wrong. take a business class, and you might become enlightened. Sweet Jesus, they literally offer them for free. If you got just a day of your time, a good 6 to 8 hours, go take a business class. Learn the very basics. Because you know what? Those basics ain't even going to equate to shit when you get out there in the professional field. Okay? That being said, in the description down below, please feel free. I have opened up something that's a non-subscription based, unlike Patreon, which is GoFundMe. If you would like to support my work, please do so by going to that link in the description down below. Any and all support is highly, highly just amazing in my book. Thank you so much. If you're not, that's perfectly fine as well. Don't be like, oh my god, well, since I can't donate even $1, well, I'm out of here, peace. Just sharing my comments, liking, or sharing my videos, and liking my videos helps me in a tremendous way in and of itself too. So both really help me. But like I said, if you ever want to support in that way, please feel free. In every comment I always leave all my social media links, as well as those types of links as well. So if you ever feel like doing that, hey, thanks. Without further ado, because that also does go towards Simon's editions. Remember that. So, without further ado, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because if you're not already subscribed, you're going to miss out on great content and future content as well. And, you know, just a personal note, please, you know, just don't make someone throw a lamp at you to lighten you up. Lighten up, everybody. Stay calm, take some deep breaths. You know, there's 8 billion people on this planet. Just, woosah. Be kind to one another. Yeah, everybody has a difference of opinion, but keep it civil. Keep it civil. Don't be a dictatorship. Don't be stupid. And until next video, stay well, stay awesome, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.